Hello, and welcome to the Solution Inside channel. In this video, I'll show you how effortlessly you can create, modify, adapt, store, import, and export flowcharts, all within Excel, or rather, all with Excel. Whether you're organizing a simple process or tackling a complex diagram, the Dynamic Excel Flowchart Maker makes it easy to handle. With its user-friendly interface and flexible design, I'm confident it's the perfect tool for anyone looking to streamline their diagramming tasks. After this lengthy introduction, if you're still with me, I promise it's going to get interesting. Essentially, everything revolves around the input interface on the process description worksheet, which I've been showing since the start of this video. It's designed to be intuitive from the beginning, but let me quickly walk you through it so you can fully unlock its potential. I've already filled columns with the input information crucial for the creation of the flowchart for this simple 10-activity process. Each column plays a crucial role in shaping the flowchart, turning raw data into a clear, organized process map. Column B contains unique codes for each process activity. These codes are crucial for tracking and referencing activities throughout the flowchart, helping to keep your workflow organized and easy to follow. In column C, we store the names of our process activities. These names will appear inside the shapes, giving each shape its own identity, so ensure they guide viewers clearly and smoothly through the process. In column D, we select the shape type that best represents each activity. The accuracy of the flowchart depends largely on how well each activity is matched with the appropriate shape. The drawdown list of shape types is there to assist you in making the right choice. Column E allows us to customize the appearance of the shapes and the activity names within them. By filling the cells with arbitrary strings, we can instantly preview how the shape and its text will appear. Now let's talk about connectors, which are key to illustrating the flow from one activity to the next. We use column F to indicate the direction of flow, helping to visually convey how each step connects in the overall process. The rest of the columns are mostly arbitrary, as they will typically be automatically filled by the Flowchart Maker. However, in certain cases, as we'll see later in the video, they contribute to further customization and enhance the overall appearance and precision of the flowchart. For now, we'll leave those columns empty, as we'll have plenty of time to explore them later. We're almost ready to create our first flowchart. Before pressing the all-important Create Flowchart button, let's first select a basic flowchart structure by pressing the Flowchart Layout button. We have 5 layout options offered, actually 4 basic, vertical, horizontal, mirror N, and Z layout. Selecting one of these 4 will guide the Flowchart Maker in calculating the position of each shape in our diagram. If we choose the 5th option, the Flowchart Maker will understand that we intend to position layout manually. Next, we'll move and define shape dimensions and distance between the shapes. For this example, it is chosen 90 and 45 points and distance between shapes to 0.5 size of shape. In this step, we also need to specify where the flowchart should be stored. There are 2 options. Either create the flowchart on a new worksheet or use an existing template. The key difference between these options is that when selecting the new sheet option, the Flowchart Maker will either create a new worksheet or delete an existing one with the same name and then create a fresh one. With the template option, the Flowchart Maker will preserve the worksheet background but clear all existing shapes. We'll use the template option later in the presentation. For now, we'll choose the new sheet option. Lastly, we need to provide a name for the worksheet where the flowchart will be created. If any required information is missing, the system will alert us. Let's demonstrate this by intentionally omitting some details and following the warning step by step until all the necessary information is entered. We are ready to press Submit button. Please note that key information, such as the flowchart layout and the worksheet name, will be displayed on the Flowchart Layout Setup button. And finally, we are ready to create the flowchart by pressing the Create Flowchart button. Our first flowchart is ready to come to life. Open a newly created sheet called V. We got a simple flowchart structure, neatly organized in a vertical layout. Not bad, but it's not exactly thrilling, is it? How about we add a little flair to our flowchart by changing fill colors, changing a font size, adding a bit of rotation to reposition some of them from the main line. We will go even further and change shape border type and even connector types and colors. We're now ready to press the Create Flowchart button again. As expected, the Flowchart Maker alerts us that a sheet named V already exists. We could overwrite the existing sheet, but we'll keep it for now. Instead, let's return to the flowchart layout structure and simply change the sheet name, pressing Submit. Press Create Flowchart, and voila, a brand new, vibrant flowchart is created with all the changes applied. Take a moment to admire and enjoy your colorful masterpiece. Since we've saved our previous result, we can observe how our flowchart evolves with the simple actions we've undertaken. It's time to explore further. Using the current process description setup, we'll switch things up by choosing the horizontal layout this time and change the name of the targeted sheet into, for example, H. This will give our flowchart a fresh look with the shapes arranged from left to right. Ready for a new perspective? Press Create Flowchart button and see the transformation. Please note that we've only changed the layout. All customizations from the previous flowchart have been preserved. This is why, in the horizontal layout, the customized shapes retain their rotations and are repositioned relative to the main line. This was easy, and with 2 more layouts to explore, the excitement continues as we see what other creative flowcharts we can make. Choose the Mirror and Layout from the Flowchart Layout setup. When we select this layout, we'll be asked one more question. How many shapes do you want in each column? Since we have 10 shapes, split them into 2 columns. 5 shapes in each column should work perfectly. And, of course, give the worksheet an inventive name. Don't forget to press the Create Flowchart button, open a newly created sheet, and a new graphical presentation of our process activities is shown. I should point out that all sheets created by the Create Flowchart button are colored yellow, to indicate they were generated by the yellow button. The same logic applies when creating sheets using the green buttons. Those sheets will be green. With the green buttons and green sheets, we will be working in the next video. You've probably noticed that customizations of the shapes like coloring and rotation are kept, but the data from column L hasn't been applied. Okay, it is time to test the Z layout. You know the drill. Press Flowchart Layout button. Choose a 4th option. Choose 5 shapes in a row, and give it a fitting name. Submit. Press the Create Flowchart. Just like that, you have a complete collection of 4 flowcharts. In the last few minutes, we've created 4 basic flowchart structures that represent our simple process activities. We can compare them and decide which flowchart structure best fits our needs. We've reached the end of this introduction to the 4 basic flowchart layouts, and I hope you've gotten a first taste of just how easy and flexible it can be. Before we go any further, let me introduce you to 2 additional sheets in this workbook. Alongside the process description sheet you're already familiar with, there are also the All Shapes and My Shapes sheets. The All Shapes contains detailed information about the shapes used in our flowchart drawings. As you may know, Excel offers 182 shape types, all of which are stored here in a format specifically adapted for our Flowchart Maker. The last column provides a graphical representation of each shape, allowing us to easily preview and later select the shapes we need for our diagrams. All Shapes is crucial for flowchart drawing and acts as a translator between the names stored in column D of the process description table and the names better suited for our VBA background operations. Let me quickly explain the role of the My Shapes worksheet. If you remember, during the setup, you were required to choose an appropriate shape type in column E. With 183 available shapes, that can be a bit overwhelming. The My Shapes comes to the rescue by containing only the shape names that are needed for our specific tasks. This makes selecting a shape names much faster and more convenient for our workflow. If you find that you need more shape types, feel free to copy the shape name from the column A of the All Shapes and place into the My Shapes. The graphical representation in the 4th column will guide you. Once pasted, the shape is ready for use. The main purpose of Excel is to offer a versatile platform for managing, analyzing, and visualizing data. The results achieved in Excel are designed to be shared seamlessly, especially within the Microsoft ecosystem, ensuring smooth collaboration and integration across platforms. To simplify the task of sharing Excel reports, Flowchart Maker includes 2 export functionalities. one for exporting flowcharts to Microsoft PowerPoint and another for Microsoft Word. Interestingly, the process of exporting to these two platforms required completely different approaches. I won't get into the technical details here. Let's focus on what you'll see on the screen. Let's assume we're satisfied with how the flowchart looks and are ready to present it in PowerPoint. To do this, simply press the Export to PowerPoint button. You'll be prompted with two straightforward questions: the name of the flowchart sheet you wish to export and the format in which the flowchart will be stored within PowerPoint. It's as easy as that. Make sure to enter the correct sheet name, and then choose between three different methods for exporting the flowchart graphics. The first option should be selected if you anticipate needing to make adjustments to the structure of the flowchart outside the Excel environment. The second option allows you to export the flowchart as a .png file. A portable network graphics file is a high-quality image format that preserves the clarity of your graphics, making it ideal for presentations. However, once exported as a .png, the flowchart becomes a static image, meaning you won't be able to edit the structure or individual elements directly, but it ensures that the visual design remains intact and consistent. The difference between the last two options lies in the content of the image transferred. The PNG with shapes only option indicates that only the shapes will be transferred to the PowerPoint presentation. The PNG with template option, however, transfers not only the shapes, but also the background on which the shapes are placed. This option is specifically designed for cases where the shapes are part of a template. If you're still unsure, let me show you examples to make it clearer. First, I'll export the flowchart using the option that allows editing outside Excel, and you'll see how we can still modify the structure directly in PowerPoint. Before we inspect PowerPoint export result, I have one important note. To simplify the export process, all yellow buttons either create a sheet with a flowchart diagram, as with the Create Flowchart button, or in the case of exporting, only yellow labeled sheets are suitable for export. Next, we can export the same flowchart as a PNG file shapes only option, which will appear as a fixed image, perfect for presentations but without the ability to make further structural changes. Once we have both exports, we can compare their characteristics. In the first case, we get the entire diagram placed on the page, though adjustments like font size may be needed, as it often distorts during this type of graphic transfer. However, the advantage here is that we can continue reshaping the flowchart. The second PowerPoint export, as a.png, is ideal for resizing while keeping all elements perfectly scaled, offering flexibility in layout without losing clarity. We'll demonstrate the third option when we start working with templates in this Flowchart Maker. Exactly, that's for PowerPoint. As mentioned earlier, exporting to Word requires a similar, yet a bit different approach. When you press the Export to Word button, you'll see a slightly different window with questions tailored to Word structure. You'll still need to specify details like the flowchart sheet name, but the options for exporting are adjusted to fit Word's formatting and layout requirements. Unlike PowerPoint, where the page size and orientation are always the same, Word offers flexibility in both. Therefore, we need to specify the page size and orientation before exporting. This ensures that the flowchart fits properly within the Word document and maintains its clarity and structure. We will follow the same steps as in the PowerPoint example. First, we'll export our Z flowchart as an embedded file. The conversion to a format suitable for Word takes a bit more time, as the Flowchart Maker needs to perform a few additional steps, including creating a drawing canvas, a feature that PowerPoint does not require. The second action is to export our Z flowchart in a.png format. We'll take a few seconds to review the results of our export in the first two formats to Microsoft Word. With 2 platforms and 4 export options, we can test and compare the results, ensuring the layout and design meet our expectations on each platform. We've reached the end of the first part of our introduction to the Dynamic Flowchart Maker, and there are still plenty of features in this solution yet to be unveiled. If you found this helpful, I'd love to hear your feedback. In this video, I demonstrated a one-sided approach, creating a flowchart from a table. While many off-the-shelf flowchart makers offer similar functionality, next time I'll take it a step further by working both ways, creating a flowchart from a table and generating a table from a flowchart. I firmly believe that true process analysis thrives with a two-sided approach. My name is Sinisa Petrovich, and with over 30 years of experience as a project manager across various industries, I've explored countless software solutions. Yet I always find myself returning to Excel for business process analysis and graphical presentations. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe for more tips on mastering process flowcharts and efficient Excel solutions. And feel free to like it if you think it deserves it. See you in the next video.